So during my time with almost no usable internet, I discovered Samurai vs. Zombies 2. Given that Samurai vs. Zombies 1 stood out as being one of the few games I had played and reviewed so far that I have enjoyed, I figured I'd spend the 200 megabytes to download the new game and give it a try. The first thing I noticed upon starting this game was that my glue coins balance was negative 42. I thought this was just a visual glitch, but after collecting some glue coins, they simply counted upwards towards 0, so I took a screenshot. Glue coins are, by the way, the universal premium currency for all games developed by Glue. Some Glue games, such as Tiny Tower, Little Kingdom, sorry, I get those confused since they're the same bloody thing. Glue clearly wanted to jump on Zynga's let's rip off smaller, lesser-known artists bandwagon with that one. Where was I? Oh, right. In Upside Down Tiny Tower, you can earn a decent number of glue coins in an hour, which you can then use in other games that are not quite so generous. I submitted a ticket inquiring about my missing glue coins, including the screenshot of my negative balance, then set forth earning back my coins so that I could actually play the game. It was about maybe a week later, well after the point where I had earned back all of my coins, that I received a reply. Well, your game isn't communicating with our servers, which can cause zero balance to appear, says the tech support agent, to which I reply, really now? That's what causes a zero balance to occur. Well, that's good to know. So what causes a negative balance? Did you even read my support ticket? This went back and forth a few weeks until I gave up trying to explain my problem. A few days after that, I got an email saying that they interpreted my lack of response as a successful resolution to the problem. In much the same way a phone company might put you on hold until you hang up, then consider you another satisfied customer. But what about the game? Is that good at least? Well, I'd have to give that a resounding You see, this is one of those games where I can see the potential in it, like a whole boatload of potential, but the monetization holds the entire thing at gunpoint. Almost like there are two separate forces at work within Glue. One that genuinely wants to make good games, and is diligently hard at work doing so, and another side which wants to wring every dime they can out of its players. And unfortunately, Hyde is beating the crap out of Jekyll right now. Nearly every element of the game is designed with monetization in mind. You can't go back to earlier waves until you've beaten the entire game, which means if you hit a spot where you can't go any further, your only option is to spend your way to victory or give up. This is taken advantage of midway through the game. Wave 29 is a money wall. If you do not have at least a few glue credit upgrades, you will not survive. There's also a whole premium character, which, when I first started playing, could be unlocked for the low price of $54.99. Really, Glue? Whole retail games go for that price, and you expect people to shell that out for just a bonus character in a cell phone game? The price has gone down to about $35, but really anything over $10 is pushing it. As with the previous game, you can collect treasure boxes which have secret allies or charms inside of them. This did not escape the monetization demons either. When you die, you are given a peek inside the treasure boxes and asked if you want to use a revive, which is primarily obtained via premium currency or once every 5 days in a row that you play. Strangely, while I collected dozens of these treasure boxes in my travels, the only time I ever found any secret allies was when I died with a treasure box on hand. After experimenting a bit, I found that yes, when I won, I would almost certainly get a piece of sushi or cup of tea. But when I died, 3/4 of the time, the treasure box would contain a new secret ally, and if it didn't, it would almost always be a charm. I noticed the same thing in Flipsy Tiny Tower. On failed quests, you would almost always be shown that you would have won the one item you needed to complete a set to unlock a special floor. The two biggest changes from the previous game to this one is the addition of new characters and a multiplayer mode. You still had the samurai, and he is still a Girl Scout who can and will die if you use him for pretty much anything other than picking up litter. I mean, prize drops. You also had the literal Girl Scout, by which I mean the kunoichi, who has almost no hit points whatsoever, but does have a poison dagger, a stun grenade special, and a good amount of melee damage. She's also faster than the samurai, making the retrieval of items much easier. Then you have the Ronin. He is irritatingly slow, has no ranged attack, and basically sucks in every way until you get a literal ton of upgrades on his damage resistance and hit points. Once he is upgraded decently, he is a juggernaut, but way too slow to actually pick up drops, so rounds requiring him yield very few rewards. Oh, did I forget to mention? Several waves require you to use a specific character, meaning if you don't level all of their stats and abilities evenly, you will be completely screwed when you are required to use your least favorite character in a wave. This again seems like a monetization thing, since you have to use all characters to get through the story. You have to pay 3 times as many glue coins as before. Finally, we have the multiplayer. Basically, it works by allowing you to invade other players who will be controlled by an AI, and you have 3 minutes to destroy their gate. If you win, you get a collectible item, which upon completion of each set will grant your characters additional bonuses such as damage reduction, increased damage, or defenses against other players attacking you. Unfortunately, the gameplay here completely falls apart. There are exactly 2 kinds of opponents that you will fight. Ones who will die in 1 or 2 hits, allowing you to finish them off without any difficulty, and those that will utterly destroy you without taking any damage from anything you throw their way. The former is unsatisfying, because really, the possibility to lose needs to be present in order to make victory feel worth it. If there's no way that you can lose, you don't get that feeling of accomplishment that comes with most multiplayer games. The latter is exactly the opposite. If you feel that there was never a chance of winning, you feel cheated more than anything else. Plus, since it costs souls, an additional limited currency to attack players, you are punished for your failure to defeat an opponent that you could never have beaten. You can check the relative power of your opponent, of course, but it doesn't help. For example, my Ronin's upgrade level is ranked at 390 points. I challenged another Ronin with 330 points. Rather than being a mostly even match with possibly 1 or 2 upgrades difference between our characters, even my most powerful attacks did nothing to my opponent while he effortlessly cut through my hit points faster than you can say, "Why did I decide to wear paper mache into battle today?" Like I said before, this is one of those games that is really hard to rate. The game itself is good. It's got solid gameplay elements, and is actually fun when it isn't trying to make me see exactly how much damage I can do to my phone without actually breaking it. But the monetization is the real killer. You can see it actively woven into every single facet of the game. Almost every design choice seems to be made with the subtext of, how might this motivate the player to buy coins? Ultimately, whether or not you should play this game comes down to whether you are able to feed it enough glue coins to play it or not. If you enjoy another glue game that does give a surplus of glue coins, or if you have a disposable enough income to pay for the coins that the game demands, you may find this game fairly enjoyable. If you are not able to feed the game enough coins to keep up with its demands, you'll probably very quickly find the game causes far more frustration than it is worth.